Oh, we'll give her a few minutes to see if she comes on.
I'm here.
Who?
Who are you looking for? Somebody accepted me.
I was looking for Natalie.
Oh.
No, she needs the link. She doesn't have it.
Yeah, she didn't, I didn't send it to her because no one informed me to do so. So that's why she didn't receive it.
All right.
But
Leanne, could you send it to her?
I'm trying.
You know how to do it.
I'm trying to do it right now.
All right. You just forward it.
I'm trying to find her email address. I don't know if I have it. Does anybody have it?
Yeah, hold on. At least it's not unique, right? Is it you? She can just change her name.
no, yes, she can just put her name in.
I pulled up a thing here where it says, please join Zoom webinar in progress.
Right.
But I need to get an email address to send it to her.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, why didn't it do it that way? Found it.
Do you have it?
Yep,
Are you sending it or do you want me to send it?
got it. I'm sending it right now. Just sent
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna be late myself because I was running behind at work. Crazy. Oh. All right. So you didn't call the meeting to order yet, right?
No.
No.
Okay. Let me get my notepad out. I'm gonna send you to an email
Okay.
because I asked John to look back on all the old rules committee, their actual rules from back in the day. He has it as far as back as 2015, and there's big differences. And by the way, unfinished business, as far as I'm looking at, reviewing is not on there. I don't know when it changed. Because I don't know if it, I know the committee of the whole, I don't think our minutes, our rules say that the cow and the town council are two different things.
Yeah.
And that might be the problem, because, but I'm gonna send you the email that John sent me, so you guys are all, you're both part of it, so you know what's going on.
Have a little problem. It's up to.
Oh, great.
I should.
And
Let me see if I can get back in.
Baumgartner. All right. I know you can't read them now, but that's FYI, just because something's not adding up right. Because then I went back and looked at some other meetings, and it changed a while ago. I didn't find 2017 yet, though. I was still looking.
Counselor Aubrey, I'm gonna switch the host over to you.
Okay.
So if Natalie joins you,
Yeah.
if you click on the participants at the bottom, the icon with the people,
Yeah.
if you click on that, off to the right, you'll see attendees.
Wait a minute. I'm having a problem getting into the meeting. I was
You're-
in and I went.
We still see you.
Well, that's good because I don't see you.
Maybe minimize your screen. It might be in the back of your, whatever you're seeing there.
I've just got a little strip down the side and I don't see any place for getting down to where it says participants like I normally do. Can you hold on just a second? I'm going to
Sure.
try going out and coming back in.
Okay.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, then. And October 26, 2020. I see. Is she back in?
I think so. Oh,
Nope.
she went back out again.
She's. Nope, I don't see her.
I think she left the meeting. Here she comes.
Fiddle faddle. Well, you must be having a hard time. Are you driving, Counselor Baumgartner?
I am, yeah, but I have you on Bluetooth. I just won't be able to read anything.
Okay.
We can't hear you, Counselor Aubrey. You're muted.
I got it. Thank you. Thank you. Now I can see what I need participants for.
Okay, so you remember that attendee section there?
I beg your pardon?
Do you see the attendee section? When you click on participants at the bottom,
Yeah, yeah.
you see panelists 4, attendees 0. Up at the top corner.
Up at the top corner.
Are you on a?
Yep, yep. I see
Okay,
that.
so where it says 0, you might see 1, and that'll be Natalie trying to join your meeting.
Okay,
If she joins, I'm not sure if she'll get the email in time, if she's expecting to be on.
all right.
But you guys are all set whenever you want to start.
Okay, thank you so much as
You're welcome.
always.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
Have a
you.
good
appreciate your
meeting.
help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Okay.
guys, I'm going to bring the meeting to order. Those present are Counselor Baumgartner, Counselor Parker, Counselor Aubrey, who are on, we are awaiting a possible guest. Okay. Approval of the minutes from the October 19th meeting.
I make a motion.
Okay. On Counselor Baumgartner, I'm trying to do it the right way, but it just doesn't happen. He's driving.
Yes, second.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, under new business, town council rules and procedure changes.
Okay.
So,
Let me go back and pull that up. Oh, no, I don't need to pull the whole thing. So I did take out the section and combine it.
how about if can we start at the beginning?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. All right.
Let me get rid of the stuff from last week. Okay. Incorporation of charter provisions, right?
Yes.
Okay, there's nothing in the first paragraph. Meeting of the council. I don't believe we had any changes in there.
No.
Clerk of the council. We're covered on that one. Let's see. Quorum and vote. We don't have any questions on that.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Did we decide on the 30 minutes?
Let me see. 30.
That's, yeah, under rule C. I mean, 4C.
All right, 4. Which one under 4? Rule
C.
C.
Do you
Yeah.
want me to read it for Council Baumgardner since he can't see it?
Yeah.
Okay. In exceptional circumstances such as the attendance of a large number of citizens, the expectation of the imminent arrival of a counselor, or the need to address time-sensitive issues, the mayor or presiding officer may extend the recess period to 30 minutes. In no case shall the recess exceed a total time of 30 minutes. I believe originally it was 60 minutes. Were we keeping the 30?
No, I think the 30 is adequate.
Okay.
All right. Under number 5, A, the chairman of the council having the title of mayor. It's there in there twice, having the title of mayor.
Okay, I'll fix that.
You'll need to strike that one time.
Let me fix that right now while we're looking at it. Oh, am I in it? It's slow as molasses, sorry. But all right, let me write that down.
Okay.
Right. Out.
Counselor Baumgartner, where you driving to?
Just doing work-related stuff. But yeah, I'm comfortable with that the 30 minutes language.
Okay.
Okay, I fixed that I fixed it.
Okay. I don't think we had anything else under 5 on that page. Let's see. You know, under that G, the mayor may appoint a parliamentarian whose duty shall be advising the mayor upon request.
Yes.
I think we should encourage her to have one.
She did ask somebody and did point somebody. It's a matter of if they're available or not.
I see. Okay. We'll need to check on. Okay. Conflict of interest, we're okay on that.
Okay.
Okay, and we decided to go with Patrice's call to keep it the same way, roll call, declare a quorum, call to order. Correct?
Yes, but it doesn't do that under both meetings, so.
Shall we add under both meetings?
Oh no, a suggestion, leave for both meetings. I have it underneath. I did write that in red.
Oh, leave the same for both meetings?
Yes, that,
It didn't come through in red, unfortunately.
oh, sorry.
That's all right. Let's see, now we're gonna go down under Rule 7, down to approval of the minutes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And we
Rule
had deletion of the town council referral list, and we have suggested move to D or may be removed as this is not part of the packet. This item has been placed in a separate item.
Yeah, he's been emailing it to us as a separate item.
Okay.
And I don't know if we should just call it deletions or the referral list, because we're not approving it, though.
I think we should say deletions or additions to the referral list.
But are we approving them all? Because I believe those are open items. Would they be considered open items?
Yeah, I'm not saying that but if something's deleted or something's added, we would need to know that, right?
Right.
On the new list?
Okay, so you want the word additions,
Yeah.
deletions / additions.
Counselor Berg? Andre, what do you think about that?
Yes, I'm fine, as long as there's, again, a record, and I think in the agenda, or an explicit mention of, on the agenda of the referral list. I think it should be included.
Okay.
Or additions.
Okay.
Okay. Communications. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of myself. I missed appointments. We're going to move that to B.
Yeah, because I think we're doing appointments first, then,
I thought appointments were supposed to come under reports.
no, that's when we approve them. And that's the confusing part. Wait a minute, is that under committee the whole?
Well, communications, it's like your report, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay, that's not the one I want.
I'm sorry, I'm under 8. I've gotten ahead of myself also. Under 7, appointments. And we said move to B, but B of what? Do you have any idea? Anybody
I'm
there?
sorry, I muted myself.
Okay,
Let me see what the current council meeting minutes are, because I was trying to follow what they're doing. That's committee of the whole. We want the beginning of the month meetings. Oh, fudge sticks. Right, town council is the first of the month, and the other 3 are committee of the wholes, correct? Or no?
I don't know. Well,
I'm sorry, it's taking me a
guess
moment to find it.
okay, when you do find it, my question is we have here appointments and we've got move to B, but B of what? Or is-
Oh, no, switch the order.
Okay, so we're gonna put appointments where B is. And we're going to put administrative items under,
C, which
B.
is, but I'm trying to confirm that that's how we've been doing it, because for some reason, I think that's the way we've been doing it. Town council agenda packet, found it. Okay. Consent calendar. Yeah, it goes the meeting minutes, the appointments, special contributions, ad hoc committees. At least that's the way they put it in the system now.
This is under order of business, right?
Yes, the consent calendar, yes, because I'm looking at the one that we got on October 6th. Oh, can you add Natalie? She's on.
I will. Participants. She said, I don't invite. Oh, sure, if I could figure out how to get her on. Here.
Right click it.
Under participant.
Full under attendees.
Let me get this out of the way. All right,
Can I call you back, Leah?
I see participants. Is that what you mean?
No, under the you see the panelists, the participants, there's 4.
Yeah,
And under attendees, that's where she is. You have to click view full attendee list.
yeah.
And then you need to click her name and see if you can right click it or somewhere, add her. I can't remember how to do it.
I got it.
Okay. There she is.
Are you there, Natalie?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep. Time to get on here. Okay, good.
It was an oversight on my part. I apologize for that.
No problem.
So let me go back to what I was looking at.
Okay, so what you're talking about is under the consent calendar?
Yes, so currently I'm looking at what we've been doing and how, or let me say, rephrase that, how the system has been given it to us.
Yeah.
So under our one from October 6th, it says under the consent calendar, approval of September 1st meeting minutes. And then it goes to the various appointments. And then it goes to special contributions. And then it goes to miscellaneous appointments. So I'm guessing the administrative items, that's why I was moving it around, because that's how they send it to us lately, is that the meeting minutes, then the appointments, and then whatever else comes after it. I just want to be consistent with the system.
So you're saying that administrative items needs to be moved
Yes.
to
Just
6.
to see under consent calendar,
Okay. Move
and
to-
appointments is moved to B under consent calendar, if I'm understanding Juliet right.
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Are
Thank you.
there 2 different kinds of appointments, Juliet?
It
appoint-
says, well, the interesting part, looking at this current calendar from October 6th, it went the September meeting minutes,
Mhm,
then various appointments and reappointments,
mhm.
special contribution, special trust fund contributions, and then a miscellaneous ad hoc appointment. So I figured that was an administrative item-ish.
Mhm.
I don't know how they're doing that part. That's why I figured if at least we can get the approval of the minutes, the appointments, and then administrative items can go on the bottom. Just to be consistent with what we're getting, what's been consistent with what we've been getting.
Approval of minutes would be A, appointments would be B, and
Yes.
administrative items would be C.
Yes.
And then the question is, do you want D for miscellaneous appointments? That's appears to be a different kind of appointment. I don't know.
I don't know if that was just, I don't even like the word miscellaneous, really,
I understand. Mhm,
because that could fall under anything. But
mhm. I understand.
that's why I figured if technically maybe the miscellaneous ad hoc commit appointments could be an administrative appointment, because technically those ad hoc appointments, I believe the mayor does. She appoints someone. The other appointments, the personnel and appointments committee does that.
Mhm, understood.
At least that's my logic.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that to you two, because I'm completely lost at this point.
I'll clear it up and type it up, and then I'll have some notes for myself, and I'll probably send it to both you and Counselor Baumgardner, why I move things around to make it clearer, just so that you guys know what's going on.
Okay, and Natalie also.
Yes.
Okay, so are we moving on to communication reports?
Yes. Did-
Okay.
We did say we were keeping the liaison reports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I should have sent these to you, Natalie.
Are you so that you can?
Mhm.
Remember the email I said I was going to send you and Council Baumgartner about the previous rules committee minutes? Previous rules from the 27th, 29th, and the 30th.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Well, there was a question of the word unfinished business. Because it was, but it's not in, if I'm looking at it, I don't see it. It's been removed.
From the listing here of the order on the agenda, you mean?
Yes, but also from looking at previous rules, that's what it looks like, that they've changed it out.
They took out what?
The word unfinished business. It was in under March of 2010, it was there. The 29th one, let me see what the 29th has. The 29th did not have it. It was taken out. And I do not have a date on that one. I don't know why they didn't have a date, but the 30th, we did not have it. The 30th does not have it either. So sometime between the 27th and the 28th, it was removed.
Of March of this year?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. March of 2010 had the word unfinished business in the order of business.
oh, 2000 and back in 2010.
2010. 2015, it does not.
Okay. Do you know if the system they're using allows them to would allow a category for unfinished business?
That was an email I want to send to you so you know what's going
Ah,
on.
okay.
Right, Councilor Ober, you want me to send her that email too?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let me. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Unfinished business. All right,
Yeah.
let me send that to you. I had asked the town manager to forward it to us so that we could see where it went, why it was dropped off. Because then the issue of if we have an open item or didn't finish speaking about an item, it's now going to have to be under other business. Because we
Right.
don't have a word unfinished business unless we add it back in.
Mm-hmm. Right. Typically, I think you would have either old business or unfinished business before new business.
I think unfinished would sound a little better.
Unless you're changing the word other business to unfinished business.
Yeah.
Well, you would still keep the other, I think.
Oh, I see. Wait a minute, I'm duplicating things. That's all right. Just leave it.
Good grief. Yeah, it doesn't. And all right, the other thing is, as we're doing this, and I don't mean to throw a monkey in the wrench, I don't think technically this says this is gonna be for both the cow and the town council. All it says is it's for one.
Well, we can add that the rules are the same for both meetings. Not quite sure where, but
If you want them to be. The reason that the council created COW decades ago was to allow a meeting that's more informal the first time that you discuss an issue.
oh, I'm not suggesting that we change it. You know, we should be able to have the cow and the regular, but wouldn't the rules stay the same for both?
At least for the agenda items.
Yeah.
Or not.
That's-
That's up to you. Well, except public hearings, do you do public not, do you do
No.
citizens petition at both?
No,
Well,
No.
so you got an issue because citizens petition is listed here in the agenda.
right.
So you don't want to say the agenda is the same for council and cow unless you want citizens petitions at all your meetings.
No.
Can we put receipt of citizens petitions and then put when it would be? No, this
No.
this really is for,
Town council meeting.
yeah. This isn't really, if you read those two things, you're really not doing it for when we are discussing things.
Right, your COW agenda is different.
Yeah,
Yes.
And you might not want to lock into a particular form for the COW agenda. So
Yeah.
I'd leave it the way it is and later on deal with the issue of how do you explain what parts of the rules apply to both meetings and what parts are just for council. That's all. It's always been an issue, but it's not new to you.
okay. I wonder if at the end of it though, where it says receipt of citizens petitions, comments and concerns, and then response to citizens petition, comments and returns at appropriate meetings.
Well, you can't just say at appropriate meetings. You have to define what's an appropriate meeting.
Meeting. See,
if you look later in your whole packet of rules, you come to a section later that's about committees and referrals. And that's where you talk about committee of the whole. So I think if you want to say something different about committee of the whole and how it's done, you want to address that later under Rule 9. And right now, this agenda you're doing is for the council, for the actual council, the formal council meeting.
Right.
If you agree, Juliet, and if Andre agrees.
Right, because that whole thing is different anyways. Because when we start, which is where I have questions, because when we do the town council meeting, she does roll call first. When we do the committee, the whole is called to order and then roll call. Hence why I was trying to make sure that we were uniform, at least in that part of the order of the business, but they want to leave it the same. So we have two different things going on. So the committee, the whole is different for their agenda items or order of business. Let me rephrase that. Unless we put order of business and agenda for town council. And then under committees, we put a subsection in for committee of the whole order of business.
How about if we do this? How about if we work tonight on the things that we'd already talked about? And then if we feel something needs to be changed after that, we can always, give ourselves a little break and then come back on the regular schedule and then talk about how we're going to make them consistent or separate.
Okay.
Because I don't think we had talked about what we were going to have at the beginning of the meeting. And Patrice said how she would prefer to have it. And that's what we went with, right?
Yes, but that's only for the town council. The committee of the whole is totally different.
Okay, but these rules, if you look right up at the top of your page, these are the rules of procedure for the town council. So these meetings, these rules right now apply to the town council meeting,
Okay.
not the COW. COW comes later.
Okay.
That's,
Okay. All right. So let's move along. And when we get to where you think it's appropriate, Natalie, tell us and we'll talk about it again. How's that?
Mhm.
Okay. Under 8, communication report and liaison reports. Communication reports and liaison reports. Other than committee reports, communications. I think that's all that we want under communications, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go down to C. That was the next one we talked about. Department heads, superintendents of school and board of education. My suggestion would be not to delete it, but add to it upon request by either party.
you can do that, but notice having listing superintendent of schools, board of education doesn't mean they have to be present and report at every meeting.
Right.
It just means if they're there, that's when you would talk to them and deal with them.
Okay,
Counselor Aubrey?
yeah,
I think last week we had talked about this, and I think we had all agreed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the report would be, it would be fine. So what do we do? Like, can we leave it as is and not make any changes and move on?
I don't mind that.
I couldn't understand what he was saying. What did he say?
He basically said, just leave it as is.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So I'm gonna unhighlight that. No color. And keep it in.
okay. Could we add to it as needed or just leave it the way it is?
I would leave it as it is.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay,
Yeah, because they email us stuff anyways.
yeah, but nobody ever reads it. I mean, at the meeting.
That's okay. Doesn't have to be. If no one hasn't, nothing that they want to talk about that was emailed, that's fine.
Okay. Other business suggestions, have counselors report any events they've attended. But they usually do that under,
Communications at the top.
yeah,
My suggestion is to move it to the bottom. Because then,
yeah, I think that's a good idea. But what are we going to call, what would you think would be communications from other people out of the council?
Yeah, it would certainly be, I received an email from someone concerned about the conditions on their street. I received an email about, and it could also be, I sent a communication to the rest of the council. I sent the council an email saying, I think we should deal with X, Y, or Z.
Great. I have a better understanding of that now. So I think we probably will have to explain that, just as Natalie just did for us, because that's where usually everybody starts telling us everywhere as they've been.
I think the issue is, what words do you put next to other business to make it clear that that's where you want counselors to report events they attended?
Did you get anything? Okay, so we're gonna, under other business, we're gonna have the counselors' reports on events they attended. Now, did you hear back from the town manager on the referral list? Didn't you email him and ask him a question?
Did I? Oh, fiddlesticks. I may not have done that. I will do that tonight.
Okay. All right. So basically, under other business, counselor reports and events they have attended.
Okay. Or event upcoming or upcoming events.
Yeah.
Let me add that in. And or upcoming events.
Okay to go on?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. We changed it to have, under parliamentary authority, suggested change. The addition of Robert Rules of Order newly revised shall govern the council in all cases in which they are applicable, provided they do not conflict with the rules, the town charter, or applicable state statutes. That sound okay?
Can I just offer, as a outside person looking at this,
Yeah,
I don't see a significant difference between the wording as it was and the change you're suggesting. I don't object to the changes. I just say, I'm not really sure there's a difference.
so
And
we're probably better just to leave it alone.
unless one of the three of you has a strong feeling that there is a difference. But the current edition, the latest edition, it's the same thing. And whether moving the word applicable, deleting the words as in effect on the date of adoption of these rules, that is something to think about, because if the rules were adopted with the whatever edition of Robert's rules was current at that time, and now 2 or 3 or 4 years later, and maybe the rule says something different, it does make sense to sort of keep the thing saying.
Okay.
Or specify the edition, put the 10th or 11th or 12th edition. And then you, so
Then you'd have.
you understand the argument could be, well, wait a minute, there was an addition in effect when we adopted the rules. Now it's 2 years later, there's a new edition and something slightly different.
Right.
But you adopted the rules based on what was current at that time. If it were me, I would just specify the addition and then you get out of all of that.
Got something to fall back on for why you made your decision.
Right. That we used the 11th edition or the 12th edition. And
Okay. So instead of saying trying to think of the word, how we would word that, it'd say the current edition.
No, just say the 11th edition of Robert Rules of Order shall govern the council in all cases in which they are applicable, da, 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 da. Just kind of leave it like, you
Mhm.
put in the 11th, so you have a guidance for where you got your decisions from.
Okay, so we're taking out as an effect on the date of adoption.
Yeah, if you say an addition, you don't need those words.
All right.
And do you want to use 11th or the 12th that just came out? And that's
I'm
up
gonna use the 11th because that's the one I have.
Fine.
Because I didn't go out and get the 12th yet.
That's fine. There's not a lot difference, just different presentation.
Okay,
And other than that, you're not changing. So you're putting in, instead of current, it's 11th, and you're taking out the as in effect on the date of adoption of these rules, because you don't need that once you
Right.
say addition. Yep.
Okay.
all right. Moving
so-
on,
So we're at B now.
points of order. And we had taken out where it says the mayor or presiding officer shall preserve order and decorum in all meetings and shall decide on questions of order. And then we crossed out everything, pretty much everything else we had put in there.
Right.
Yep.
Is it points of order or questions of order? Are they interchangeable?
Well, everybody gets up and says point of order.
Right.
They are,
Point
interchangeable.
I agree. It's point of order when you get up and say it, but you can refer to them as questions of order, which is how it is here, and that's fine.
So my question is, are we keeping questions of order or points of order? Because I crossed out questions.
Yes, in the heading, you don't need both questions, it's points of order in the heading. Points of order. And you might want to do points of order / appeal, since you've now brought into it the question of doing an appeal.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So points of order / appeal.
Right.
Mhm.
Appeal of order.
No, it's appeal the ruling of the mayor, but you don't want to say just appeal is.
Okay. Points of order and / appeal.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then we've left alone if a counselor disagrees with the ruling.
Oh,
We didn't make any changes there.
Yep.
well,
no,
we
that's-
did. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think that was new language. If a counselor disagrees, I don't know if it's in red on your version, Leanne, or if it's in black. Mine, it's still in red. So,
Mine's in black.
okay.
All right, but that was under appeal the decision, but I have to see what it is under the 11th edition, right?
Right, the reference from this is in the 12th edition. Yep, I did the reference. The wording and what it says is the same in both editions. But
I just want to see if I grab the right page though.
Yep.
Appeal. Wait a minute, I can't even see. Okay, appeal. Oops. What is that? Page 24-1? No,
I can't help you because I don't have an 11th edition.
no, I meant in what the reference that you gave me is 24-1. Is that page 24 or is that section?
No, See, unfortunately, when they go to the 12th edition, Juliet, they
Ooh.
lay it out differently. They don't even have page numbers anymore.
Okay.
So
All right, I'm gonna read these. And if this sounds right, I'll pull it from those pages. It says appeals assignment of the floor, chair debates, chair's failure to comply with the decision, committed when adheres to main motion, in
Can you
committee of, I'm
can you
sorry?
can you take a picture of that page and send it to me, Juliet?
Yes.
Because one of the problems is appeal is mentioned more than once in Roberts.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You want to get the section that lays this out simply and clearly. So if you can take a picture of that and send it to me, if you wouldn't mind.
Nope, hold on, I'm sending it to you right now. I think I'm sending it to you text message. I think I have your text. Yes, I do. 1, 2. All right, they're a little crooked. The bottom one's the first one though.
Yep. And we
Okay.
don't have to stop here right now. I'll look at that later and just say, yep, that's a good page to cite.
Okay. Because if we're saying 11th, I just want to be, I don't want to confuse everybody. And then, because somebody's going to say, why is the 12th in there? And then.
Yep, absolutely. Unless you decide to go to the 12th edition, all my references will be wrong. Yep.
Yeah, because I
Then-
don't know. Yeah.
On C, I would recommend for the heading, take out the words precedence of
Mhm.
and just make it motions / withdrawal of motions.
Motions. Okay. Motions / withdraw of motions. Oh yeah, because we put that in there.
Yep.
Did I spell that right? Is that really how you spell that?
Are we ready to move on to motions?
Yep, where she's working on the heading of that right now. Taking out the words precedence of before motions.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Are you working on something, Juliet?
Nope, I got it. Motions and then withdrawal of motions. I was trying to make sure I spelled withdrawal right.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, it's not looking right to me tonight. So.
Okay, so now we're ready to move on to debate, decorum, and debate limits of debate.
Mhm,
No counselor shall speak unless recognized by the mayor.
mhm.
Let's see, what else did we change?
Actually, yeah, we changed all the. Let me pull up the old one. We want the original 31st. So we're on 6. Fiddle faddle.
What are you doing there, Juliet?
Well, I'm trying to have 2 documents open at the same time and one does not want to move. Okay. And this is section, no, go to debate.
Yeah,
All right.
D is debate. Decorum. Debate, the 3D.
I think the main question here was the question of what time limit you all wanted to have for
Right.
how long counselors, and is there a limit on how many times counselors can speak in the formal council, not committee of the whole? Formal council, is there a limit to how many times any counselor can speak on on an item? And what's the time limit? Were you all comfortable with the 3-minute?
I'd like to try it.
I don't think that would, yeah.
Can counselors speak more than twice to an item after everybody's had their turns? If someone wants a third term, the third.
Wait a minute, limits of debate.
The one question I have is what is permissible without, I mean, can we enforce limits on the number of times someone can speak?
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
Yep.
well, the original says when we first limits of debate, the mayor should allow the maker of the motion to opportunity to speak. Councilors shall not speak more than once upon any question until other members who wish to speak shall have relinquished the floor. Councilors are limited to 5 minutes each of time they speak on a question. The foregoing shall apply anew to first and second order amendments. And number 5 was the council may, upon a 2/3 vote of the councilors present, extend or limit the amount of time for debate or the number of times a councilor may speak upon a question.
so Andre, to go back to your question, Robert's rules actually says each person gets 2 terms, what is the word I want? 2 turns, TURNS. Each person can speak twice. That's it. Okay, again, this is at council, not COW.
Yes, council.
And that, so this is when, by the time it comes to council. Now, so Roberts says that, Andre, and you go by Robert's rules. So that would apply unless you say something different here in the rules. Under Roberts, a person gets a total of 10 minutes to talk.
Each time.
No, total of 10.
All right, so 5 minutes apiece.
Theoretically, 2 5-minute terms.
So we may
So
have to keep to 5.
Well, you can put whatever you want. It's your rules. You can do something different than Robert.
Just to clarify,
Mhm.
you're stating that so be in on for even second, third order amendments, you have up to 5 minutes to speak. So if you or 10 minutes to speak. So if you utilize 9 minutes of your speaking time for the first motion, and then there's a second motion made, you only have 1 minute to speak on that, and then that's it, right?
Oh, no. It starts over again for each amendment.
Okay. The 10 minutes, you're to be allotted 10 minutes.
Yes, and Juliet did read some language that said that it applies separately to each amendment. Whatever, she did read that language, however it's worded.
We took that out and that
Oh.
needs to go back in.
Well, I may not be with your most current.
This is the original. I might have to, I should email you the 31st.
But I think the important thing here is just how do you, 3 of you want it? Again, by the time it's gone through committee of the whole, now it's on your council agenda.
I think limiting it is best because that's just what we ran into recently. We were at a council meeting and we should have been just approving what had come out of our discussions at the cow. And it didn't happen, and it turned into where we had 2 counselors just going on and on and on. And
Mhm.
I think this is appropriate in order to keep it so that it's much more professional.
So you would support limiting it to perhaps 2 turns of 3 minute each,
Yep,
3 minutes each
for the council meetings,
for
yes.
the council.
Yep,
All right.
About Juliet and Andre?
Uh,
I
I'm
agree.
okay. I agree.
You both agree, okay. So, yep,
and
All
we'll,
right. So
I'm
on
sure,
that,
I'm sorry, I'm sure we're going to have to do just what Natalie's helping us with now. We're going to have to say, look, these are 2 different things we're speaking to here. And you have to understand one is for a council meeting and one is for a cow.
correct.
so in line 4, it says, currently says, well, the suggested change, let me rephrase that. At council meetings, councilors are limited to 2 speeches, or should I say 2 turns of 3 minutes?
Yeah,
2 turns of 3 minutes each on any question. They may not speak a second time until all other counselors have had the opportunity to speak. At COW meetings, counselors may be allowed more than 2 speeches if time allows.
Now,
Merely ask,
Yep.
I'm
keep
sorry.
going. No, you keep going, I'm sorry.
Merely asking a simple, quick question or making a brief suggestion is not counted as speaking in debate.
yeah,
The same limits apply to discussion on each amendment.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
does to me.
Council Baumgartner,
It does to me as well.
Natalie,
Yes, yep,
does that make sense?
absolutely.
Okay. Can I move that last line up? I'm gonna move that last line up because, there we go.
You can do whatever you want, Juliet. You're in control.
I know, I know. Okay, and then the number 5 is the council may, upon a 2/3 vote of the councilors present, extend or limit the amount of time for debate or the number of times a councilor may speak.
Now, but that doesn't say anything about which meeting you're in.
So, no, all of this applies to council, Leanne.
Okay,
This whole entire section you're doing is for count the formal council meeting.
yeah,
All right,
but we've got in here up above it at cow meetings.
well,
that-
that's why I was gonna ask, should I move that to the committee, the whole committee meeting, committee line?
And I put that in parentheses for all of you to decide. Maybe that I put it in there to make it clear that there is a difference between council and cow.
Right,
But
Right,
strictly speaking, it probably belongs under cow. Yep.
yeah, I agree. That's why I was thinking that we might have to move that.
Leanne said, just you all be prepared to remind people, explain this
Right.
2 turn 3 minutes doesn't apply to cow.
right. Maybe we
But
put
2,
parentheses.
I'm gonna put,
At a cow meeting, councilors may be allowed more than 2 speeches if time allows.
I'm gonna put 2 turns, because
Uh,
we use the word,
So well, let's discuss, are we permitted to have time limits at our cow meetings?
Yeah, we're not limited at the cows, we're just really,
Andre, is your question, are you allowed to impose time limits at a cow meeting?
Correct, yes.
I believe the answer is yes, but you just need to have a rule about it. And so when we get to the cow section, you can decide if you want to have a limit. But sure, you can always put a limit. And in fact, at any given meeting, if you look, this one that Juliet just read, at the council may, if 2/3 of the councilors who are present vote to, you can extend or limit the amount of time for debate or the number of times a councilor may speak. And I'm actually going to suggest adding some words on any pending question or for the current meeting.
Wait a minute, for which, wait a minute, say that again.
Yep.
I'm so
I
sorry.
will. That's okay. Let me explain it for a second, then I'll read the words again, Juliet.
Thank you.
So the issue is, you're in a council meeting. Your topic is, let's paint all the buildings purple. If 2/3 of the councilors want to limit debate to 2 minutes period for each councilor, on this question, everybody only gets to say 2 minutes worth. You can pass that motion
Right,
for that item. This, by the same token, if you've got a really big important issue, it's a new school building project, you can pass a motion that says, you know what, our rule is usually 2 turns of 3 minutes each. But on this question tonight, we're voting to say everybody can have 3 turns of 5 minutes, whatever. You can change the rules any given night for a pending question. Or if you're going into a meeting one night, you've got a long agenda and you've got 10 items you need to deal with, you can say, for this whole entire meeting tonight, we're limiting debate even more than we usually do.
okay.
Okay, you can vote with a 2/3 vote to do that. And that's in Roberts. We're not
And
making,
I
okay?
believe it's already there.
Yeah. So it's this, I'm just suggesting adding the words to the end of this,
Okay,
the words being on any pending question or for the current meeting.
that's number 5, correct?
That's number 5. Yep. You can
All right.
extend debate, can allow people more time, or limit debate for a given question. Because you say, come on, guys, this question's really not that important. Let's all agree we're only going to say, 1 minute.
Right.
Or, oh my goodness, we all recognize this is a huge issue and we have time. We're going to allow ourselves more time to speak.
Right,
You have that option at every meeting on every question to limit or extend debate.
okay.
Okay. So yes, Andre, you can put in the rules, whatever limits you want to have, as long as they're fair and treating everybody equally.
Excellent.
Okay. I don't think we have any questions on yielding the floor.
Nope, but I picked up one little thing you need to change
Okay, I'm right there.
in E1. The last sentence that says the provisions of rules 8E or something, I don't know what it says,
Yep,
but need to change it because now you've changed the thing that's supposed to apply there.
Oh. It's no longer,
Is now, I believe, 8D, if we haven't changed it again. Yeah, so what that's supposed to mean is that the decorum in debate applies to the citizens speaking.
okay, so that's D. All right,
D.
I
Okay,
switched
that's just 8D. Good,
okay. Oh, okay.
good.
All right. No. Reconsideration. Okay. Which is now F.
I don't think you want to change anything in this,
Oh, no, that's as is.
but I would want to make sure you all understand the reason you're citing this one motion and you don't cite rescind, a motion to rescind, you don't cite other, is because all the other motions you follow Roberts. What you say here under reconsideration and how you handle it is a little different than what Robert says. And that's fine. You can do that. This has been a long-standing thing with the council.
Okay,
I wouldn't touch it. I would just leave it. But just if somebody asks you, why is this one thing in here and not other kinds of motions? It's because what it says is actually different. Your rules for reconsideration are different than Robert's rules. And that's fine.
okay,
And don't ask me how they're different because I have to go and review Robert's. I only know they are different.
okay.
Okay.
All right, so now we're on to G.
Yep.
Once a matter has been rejected substantially, the same matter may not be the subject of a referral for 12 months or unless the council recommends a referral with 6 votes in favor. Isn't that 2/3? Is that 2/3?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, all right, so we can't
2/3.
bring up certain topics until a year.
Well,
Unless 6 of us agree.
So this, if something has been rejected, you can't bring it up. The question is, do you also want to say if a subject matter has been decided, you've actually decided something?
I'm thinking yes, because yes,
It's a question for
I
you.
would say yes.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling something's gonna pop up again, and we had majority vote for something, and the item, I believe, is gonna come back to us when we've already decided on the item.
Mhm. And that's a reason to put, once a matter has been rejected or decided,
Okay,
substantially the same matter can't come back within a year.
Unless council recommends the referral with 6 votes.
Yes,
favor.
if 6 people want to bring it up again, then you
All
let
right.
it.
That makes sense.
So you're just inserting the words "or decided" after
Yep.
reject. Yep, okay.
Got it. Yes, because that makes sense, because yeah.
Okay, moving on. Our standing committees.
Yes, and now the big thing to know, look, what's your first standing committee?
Committee of the whole.
Whole. So this is where you're getting into committee of the whole.
Which, because technically she doesn't report out on committee whole, because we have the committee of the whole the week before a town council meeting. And then the items are brought from the committee of whole to the town council to decide upon.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure the point you're making, Juliet.
I'm trying to make sure that we're doing it correctly. Because she doesn't report, the mayor doesn't report out on committee of the whole because most of the items have been decided. Well, she does say that, never mind. These agenda items that are on for the town council meeting are being decided on. Never mind, I got it. Never mind.
And I don't know that your rules say that somebody has to report on the committees. I don't know.
No, actually it doesn't.
I don't think so. But right now you're saying there are these committees.
Yep, I'm gonna put that, unhighlight the public safety because it's back in, because we voted on it. And it's back in. And take that out. Okay.
Okay. I guess the one here is what, G, we added G.
Which is page 6 on the original. Oh, flip over.
So G
Oh
is,
no, we changed it. Oh no, yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So G is some language that I offered you all because I know you've been having some
Interesting.
some fuzziness around how referrals work. So I'm offering some language and I'm offering a process, but the three of you have to decide if it's what you want. So referrals are made by the mayor. Any counselor may request a referral at a meeting. If there's no objection, the referral shall be made. So my belief, my position is if one of you counselors wants a referral, again, you want a referral on painting all the town buildings purple. One of the privileges of serving on the council is you should be able to ask for a referral and it's done. Only if somebody objects, would it not? And if someone objects, then it would take the request of 3 counselors to get the referral made. Now, that's fine. Yep.
So someone has to, if the referral is made, but a person's not understanding the referral, I want to see it in writing, because what they're saying at the time of the meeting is not what they're really saying. Because we've had that happen, and then we're sitting here trying to figure it out, or at least in my head, I'm trying to figure out what they're really asking for.
So that's where the last sentence says, any counselor may request that a brief written explanation of the intent of the referral be provided to the council by the next meeting.
And see, I don't think so. I want it up front before we do it, because then why would you refer something to a committee group, to any group, without, you can say it, I could be writing something down and someone else could be writing something different down, and the committee, the people that are on the committee may have 2 different interpretations of what that person said.
Sure, I understand.
I'd rather have the referral emailed. I want to see it in writing so I understand where they're going with it. I'd rather have it up front than them request it at the time, because
here's the only thing I would ask you to now sit back and think about, Juliet. That means anytime that you request a referral, you're saying you need to put it in writing and you need to send an email before you've got something in writing to be very clear about what your referral is.
Have you heard our referrals? Have you watched our meetings where we've had referrals?
No.
Okay. We've had some meetings where you'll hear the referral, the mayor repeats it, it's been said, oh, that's not what I said. Or we get it and it's not what anybody thought it was. So it's either one way or another. And to make a decision on that night, to have it referred that night without having clear cut language is a problem.
I think the mayor would have the right to say, you know, I'm requesting that this be in writing, and then we would make the appropriate referral.
Yep, the mayor can request it. I put in that any counselor could request. Any counselor could say, gee, I don't really understand what that referral was. Could you put that in writing, please?
Right.
You all have to decide if you want it to be how Juliet is suggesting, that that thing in writing has to be provided before the referral's made, or can the referral be made, which just means, you know, there's a referral to what committees do we have here? To the
Rules Committee.
Yep.
Personnel or public safety. So I say, I want you guys, I make a referral for you guys to, I don't even know.
Right. All our police cars should be blue.
Right.
Yep.
So if nobody objects, then it gets referred. So we don't have 3 people deciding.
Again, I do understand you've been having issues, and you three have to decide. I am offering sort of my input from my time on the council, and believe me, we had the same struggle. And we went through the same thing about, do referrals have to be in writing, and when do they have to be in writing, and blah, blah, blah. You know,
All right, so that means we would have to change F, because F says, upon the request of 3 councilors, the mayor shall refer matters to a standing committee. Re-referral shall be by vote of council. Then it
So-
went, yeah.
What I was going to say to you all is, I think you've been misinterpreting the intent of F. That when it says, upon the request of 3 councilors, the mayor shall refer, the emphasis, in my opinion, the emphasis is on shall. The intention of F was, if a councilor requested a referral and the mayor said no, or the referral wasn't made, the idea was, well, if 3 of us ask for it, the mayor doesn't have a choice. The mayor then has to. The mayor shall refer it if 3 of us want it. It doesn't mean, in my opinion, that something can only be referred if 3 people want it.
Right.
That is a cumbersome hurdle that, and this is just my personal opinion, I don't agree with, but you all might. And that, you know, so again, it's up to you to decide. But I was on the council, I'm pretty sure, when we created this, the shall refer if 3 people want it. And we did it because some of us were asking for referrals and they weren't happening. And we wanted to know, well, we wanted to create a situation where the mayor didn't have a choice. If 3 of us want it, you have to make the referral. But it didn't mean, it was never meant to mean the mayor couldn't grant a referral.
Okay.
If one of you asked for something reasonable and no one objects. So you have to decide which process you want.
You know, Julia, we got here at the end, any council may request that a brief written explanation of the intent of the referral be provided to the council by the next meeting. So if somebody's perplexed about it or not really understanding what they're asking for, you just ask them to put it in writing.
But why should we have to ask them if they're making the referral? Or they make the referral and send the referral to everyone that night saying, or just say they make the referral, no one objects. They can have it in writing and send it to all of us, so that we're asking them, we have to purposely ask them to send us a brief summary of what they want.
Well,
We like I said, you and I, all 3 of us can interpret it one way. Here, like I said, we hear something and each of us could hear the rumor mill. One person said something, you can hear that, and I hear it totally differently. You may hear it totally differently, and then Councilman Baumgartner may hear it a different way.
Oh, I understand that.
So
but if-
we have to wait until we ask them. We have to ask them for them to write write what they want.
Yeah, but the thing is, when somebody asks to make a referral, it's not going to go on the agenda for that night. So it's
Right.
it's appropriate at that time that any council may request, we can change it. You know, it will be requested that a brief written explanation of the intent of the referral be provided to the council by the next meeting. Instead of any council may request, we can change the wording at the beginning and say that a brief written explanation of the intent of the referral be provided to the council by the next meeting. Take out that first part. We don't have to request it. You with me?
So I think what I understand, Juliet, is that you want to do what you're suggesting to avoid that situation where a referral is requested and people are unclear about what it meant, or what it meant changes. And I get that, I do. I'm coming from the flip side. I'm a counselor. We're in a budget session. We're talking about Parks and Rec. We're talking about how many trees to plant. I don't know, something. And it comes to me as we're talking. Oh, you know what? I'd like a referral to discuss trees in town. I can't give you it in writing beforehand because my request for the referral grew out of the discussion that we're having. I didn't come to the meeting with the idea I wanted to request it. And yes, you can make me go home and put it in writing, but that's creating a hurdle for every counselor around every referral they request. So I just
Okay.
want you to consider both sides of it. The hurdle.
I hear it, but because we've had several where I want to refer this to the rules committee, and here's one thing I'm hearing, but then when they send the email, it's not what they requested. So
Okay.
there's the issue. So
So
Do you
add a brief written explanation of the intent of the referral be provided to the council by the next meeting. Just take out any counselor may request. Just make it part of the rule. A brief written explanation, da, 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 da. You know, so that way it'll happen.
okay,
Right, and I think Juliet's issue is still, but does the referral get made before you have that brief writing, brief explanation?
well, if I can deal with that.
By the next meeting.
Hey, we
That-
could try it that way. If it doesn't work next year when, you know, when it's appropriate time, you spell out what's happened and the fact that you feel that whatever that committee is at that time might consider that change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so take out the words, any counselor may request that,
That's
and,
what
and insert the word shall before be provided to the council. A
right.
brief explanation shall be provided.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we're keeping H. Are we keeping H?
No, we don't have to now.
Yeah, I don't think you have to, and your lettering's changed because you're deleting F. F gets folded into G and G becomes F. So
Okay.
F
Yep.
is your last one now.
And then G comes out too, correct?
G,
When a referral is granted?
whoops, what, oh, that's, well, on my copy, that's H.
Yeah, it
Correct.
is on mine too, and I don't think we need
Yeah.
that.
Yes, that comes out. Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
So really, F, G, and H get merged into one thing that will be F. Yep. Do you want just some little typo things? Nothing big?
Nope. Go ahead.
Nope.
No. What are we looking at?
Tiny typo things up under still Rule 9, number D,
Okay.
but do not have the rights to make motions. There's not, but all counselors, but do not have the right. Just take the S off of rights to make motions. And instead of nor vote, I would just make it or vote. They don't have the right to make motions or vote. It's just simple grammar stuff.
All right.
Okay. Got it.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
Now we're going on to committee procedures. Trying to think if there was anything in here.
Well, that's where, do we want to add that section that we put in above in parentheses at the cow meetings?
About discussion, the length, the number of speeches and the time limits.
Yes.
Mhm.
Where are you putting it?
That's a good question.
Don't know. I mean, if you say nothing, then there's no limits. If you want no limits at cow, don't say anything. If you want some limits.
Counselor Baumgartner, is he there? He might, I know he's driving.
Right.
I'm thinking we may need to have limits. My concern, or what I've noticed, is that they come back and have the same argument to use for, they've used their argument twice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
They're
understand.
not providing a different argument or adding to the original argument.
Unfortunately,
And
that's hard to put in rules, Juliet.
I know.
That's something, you know, that's something the mayor, if the mayor wants to, can interrupt and say, Councillor Parker, you're making the same point you've already made. Could you? But I'm not sure how you would say that in rules that,
I
you know,
know.
accounts repeat themselves, you know, that's a tough one.
Yes, but they take 5 minutes to repeat the same argument in 5 minutes. And there's times when it's on a time constraint. We
Sure.
argued a point for 3 hours, one agenda item. We had 5 additional items on that night.
If we go to the new rules, I think you're going to see a change, because the at first person can speak for 3 minutes, and then it's got to go around the council.
But that's at your council meeting, not your cow meeting.
Oh,
Leanne.
okay, I keep getting it.
What we're asking is, do you want to put a similar thing in for cow?
And I think Councillor Baumgartner here, I think the safe assumption is yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
So we, that line that we put in parentheses above, we do want it in below.
Yeah.
But what is that line?
That is in, okay,
Right.
it's on page 5.
I remember it.
It's under debate.
Mhm. Limit. Okay, page.
So the thing is, if we take that out of there, where are we putting it under the committees? Oh, you
Well-
know what? I'll put it at the bottom.
And what that thing says is that at cow meetings, counselors may be allowed more than 2 speeches. And I think right now, what you're saying is you want something put in here that says at cow meetings,
Mhm.
counselors are limited, no speech or turn, whatever, you know, speeches, you know, must be limited to 3 minutes each turn if you want to, and they can have more than 2 turns maybe at a cow meeting. But you want them to keep each turn shorter and let it go around the table more.
Right.
I'm fine with that. We're probably going to get a battle on it, but I'm fine with that.
I think maybe where it would go is in I, where you start, or somewhere where you start discussing, you focus on committee of the whole. Committee shall be chaired by the mayor. The cow meets to act to do these things. Then you put something in that says discussion. You know, Somebody have language?
No, I was asking about counselors may be allowed more than 2 turns if time allows. That line where we had it up there. Merely asking a simple, quick question or making a brief suggestion is not counted as speaking in debate.
Right.
Do we want that in there?
Yeah,
Uh,
but always through the mayor.
well, wait, hold on. We're
Wait.
mixing things here. We're gonna get confused.
Okay,
Before you say at cow meetings, counselors may be allowed more than 2 speeches,
we need to set a time limit.
and yes,
Okay,
No. No more than 3 minutes each time speaking.
so councilors are limited to 2 turns of 3 minutes each on any,
I don't think we need to say limited to 2 times speaking each. I think we just need to say is each time speaking will be no longer than 3 minutes and only by direction of the mayor to speak, something like that. So they have to wait their turn.
which is almost similar to what they do under council.
Right.
Mhm. Yep, so you want to maybe pull some of that council language for decorum and time limits and stuff into, or you say section whatever it is of council rules about decorum and limits of debate apply in cow meetings.
Right.
So you don't have
Okay.
to repeat all that language.
All right, let me,
Yep.
is that under I or is that,
Somewhere under I, just because that's where you're talking about cow.
all right, so
Section of. So it would really say section blah, we just have to look up what section number it is, of council rules shall apply in committee of the whole.
all right, so would that be first? That should be the very first one. Okay, let me rephrase that. Is
doesn't-
I, under this, under I, is
Mhm.
it Roman numeral 1 or is it another number?
I think I'd put it later, Juliet, just
Okay.
because it doesn't follow that lead-in phrase, the cow shall meet to act.
Okay,
So it's got to come in we have to figure that out.
okay,
But for now, I'd put it at cow meetings. HI. Maybe we're gonna, you're gonna end up
Section.
making a whole new letter.
okay,
A new letter J, and then the current JKL will come after and be re-lettered.
okay.
General council rules shall apply.
All right, so J is, what is it again? I'm typing it while we're gonna say it.
Section something.
Section, I believe it's rule 8,
Oh, rule.
rules of order,
Mm,
section D, I mean, under rule, wait a minute, is rule 8, section D, debate.
Yeah. Rule 8, section D. Debate, decorum, limits of debate. Shall apply in COW.
Employment of debate shall apply in COW. Section, no, rule 8,
Rule 8,
8D, section D, debate, limits of debate, and I'll get
decorum,
the other.
debate.
Decorum.
Debate, decorum and debate, and limits of debate. Mhm.
Shall.
shall apply in COW. And then that little phrase, however, counselors may be allowed more than 2 speeches if time allows.
All right. We change that word to however. Councils may be allowed. Okay.
Now, if time allows is somebody's gonna.
If time allows, or with not permission. What is it with the mayor? Well, we already said we can go 2 times around the thing, but it's gonna end up her debate.
It was just funny how you said it. That's
You
all.
know what I mean. I'm getting sleepy. I'm tired. I'm sorry, and it's only after 7. It feels like it's so much later. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but
At direction of the mayor.
yeah, see, I don't know if you want to put that on the mayor. That's putting the mayor in a tough spot.
That's true. Or if time allows we could say it again with the majority. If we all allow, we have to have permission. The word is not permission.
It's, however, councilors may be allowed to speak for additional periods.
It's either if there's no objection or, with consensus of the council.
That's the word I wanted.
Consensus?
Yes. Councils may be allowed more than 2 turns.
With consensus of the council.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the word I wanted. I couldn't think of the word.
Sure.
I like that better. Okay.
Andre, you must be to Florida now if you're still driving. I think he's sleeping.
Not while he's driving.
Yeah.
No, I am not sleeping, nor am I on my way to Florida, nor am I trying to flee the country.
Okay, good.
I have been listening intently. Just to kind of recap, because I know I've been sort of, I don't want to say absent, but I apologize for that. Just quickly on the issue of the cow, do we need any other language earlier on in the rules that will lay out that both the cow, I'm sorry, I'm going to turn off my GPS real quick. Bear with me. Is it that the rules will be aligned both for cow and the regular meetings?
Pretty much.
Well,
Okay.
No, not really. Because the cow is totally different from what we do. Right? It's a different format.
Yeah. But I thought we were trying to have more parity between the two. That's how I interpreted it based on what, how the committee, how we, based on discussions we had.
Okay.
Well, because
you've got a couple of big differences between council and cow, and you want to be careful, Andre. One of the big ones is in a council meeting, you have to have 5 votes to pass something. And a quorum, is the quorum different? But certainly the vote passed. In a committee of the whole, you can have just 5 members present and 3 members can pass something.
right.
Remember, that's a big difference between cow and council. The other one is this issue of turn time speaking. That's a big difference. I hesitate to say this, but you should all be aware that a cow, the way the Groton Town Council does a cow meeting, a committee of the whole, is not in line with what Roberts says about cow meetings.
Yep.
A committee of the whole, as Roberts describes it, is a whole different creature. And it always has been. Again, it's not anything you folks did. It was created 20 years ago. But every once in a while, it creates a problem because you say you operate under Roberts, but you don't when it comes to committee of the whole. It doesn't follow Roberts.
So how much trouble would it be to follow it under Robert's rules?
It'd be a huge change because under Robert's rules, a committee of the whole means you're in a council meeting discussing something and you move to go into a committee of the whole meeting for that item, and you never adjourn or recess a committee of the whole. In fact, Robert says that there is no motion to adjourn or recess a committee of the whole. And obviously that doesn't work the way you do a committee of the whole. Of course, you have to adjourn your meetings. So you just have to understand the people who served on the town council back when they came up with this idea, which was just shortly before I got on the council. They created this thing called a committee of the whole, but it doesn't really fit with what Roberts lays out as a committee of the whole. So you just have to know that. You can't fix it. You can't reconcile it.
Okay.
We're not even going there. We're not even going to try going there.
You can't. It's way too complicated.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I know it. That's why I knew it would be a big problem.
Right. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to where we were.
Yeah, I think best you can do is what you're doing here, where you try to clarify a few more things about committee of the whole and how and what the rules are for committee of the whole, the way you do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a new J, which is Rule 8, Section D, debate, decorum and debate, limits of debate shall apply in cow. However, councilors may be allowed more than 2 turns with consensus of the council. Merely asking a simple, quick question or making a brief suggestion is not counted as speaking in debate.
Yes, but Juliet, make sure that asking a quick question or making a simple statement is not debate. Make sure that language stays up in the council section too.
Oh, let me put that back in.
Because that's true in council. That's a Roberts rule.
Okay.
And it's important that if somebody just says, hey, I just want to make the point, we don't meet next Tuesday, that doesn't count as part of their speech. They're talking.
Okay, it's back in.
Okay.
Okay. I think we're going over to page 9.
Yep.
Okay, and we shortened that. We're just going with the mayor and manager develop the agenda for the meeting.
Well, again, I've offered some suggestion, Leanne. This is some language I've offered. Again, I know there's been questions about how do you get items on an agenda.
Okay.
So you have to read this and see if you agree with what I wrote here, and is this what you want to say?
Oh, what I put in for K, correct?
What you put in for K, yep. So the manager and mayor develop the agendas, but councilors may submit requests in writing.
Right.
have referral items on upcoming agendas. Because one of the things, at least I think I've heard, is some frustration, people feeling they can't get an item on an agenda.
Yeah,
Any counselor may request in writing to the council to have a particular referral on a specific upcoming agenda, but such requests must be made at least, I mean, I just made up 3 full weeks before. They've got to have time if you're going to request it for a particular agenda.
right.
If a
And
council,
okay,
Mhm. And if a counselor's request to have a particular referral on a specific agenda cannot be accommodated due to the number of time-sensitive pressing issues must be addressed, the referral shall appear, and then you all have to decide, well, if you asked for a referral on blah to be on the committee of the whole agenda, and you've been waiting and some months have gone by and it still hasn't appeared, you've asked to have it on, it still hasn't appeared.
I think 3 months is
months.
reasonable.
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't think it needs to go any longer than that unless somebody wants to come in and explain why.
What is the current timeline?
I don't think there's a timeline currently.
I don't think there is one, Andre. And one of the issues is your rules say if something isn't dealt with within 6 months, then it goes away. It goes on the deletion list. So a counselor can request a referral. It never gets on an agenda for discussion. And in 6 months, it goes away. That's what your current rules say.
So does H need to be changed?
H.
That's where that after 6 months.
All matters to be, well, I put a big question mark next to that. Again, that's something for all of you to decide how you feel. If you've requested a referral, you've requested a referral on something, you want to talk about how many police officers you have and do we have enough? You've asked for the referral, it was granted, but it's never come up on a COW agenda. You asked to have it on an agenda, it still hasn't appeared on an agenda. And right now that rule says, well, if 6 months go by, it's gonna get deleted. Is that how you want it? I don't know.
I don't think so, because then if we don't get it up for, if we're making the thing to say 3 months, if we hear it in 3 months, then it'll be put on the deletion list.
Right. I've never agreed with that deletion list if you can't kind of guarantee a counselor that their item is at least going to show up on an agenda within 6 months. If I've waited 6 months to have it on the agenda, it's never been there, and now it's going to get deleted. I wouldn't make me very happy.
No, I think it should just be that it will be addressed within 3 months.
For under K.
Yeah.
So we're not touching H.
What page is K on?
That's the new one. It's still under, it's
Page 9.
9.
It was J on page 9.
Okay.
Now it's K.
Okay.
But if that would mean under H, you would delete, you would cross off the after 6 months. Any non-recurring referral that has not been acted upon shall be placed on the consent calendar for deletion. I've never liked that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But again, it's up to you three, but I would delete that.
I'm not too comfortable with it either, because there could be something that somebody that makes the selections just doesn't want to talk about, and they just keep, putting it off and putting it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Counselor Baumgartner.
Yes.
So do you want that off too?
So, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
All right, so I'll read the whole thing for H. All matters to be deleted from the referral list will be listed in the consent calendar. After 6 months, any non-recurring referral that has not been acted upon shall be placed on the consent calendar for deletion. There's a problem with that because if we don't get it on the calendar, the item won't be discussed ever.
Right, so what that says right now, Andre, is you requested a referral. The referral was granted to committee of the whole, let's talk, but referral item never appeared on a committee of the whole agenda. 6 months has gone by, it still hasn't been on an agenda. Now your rules say, but it's gonna get deleted because 6 months went by and it never was acted upon.
Right.
And do you agree that that's not good process?
Yes.
Okay,
I agree. So I'm taking that line out.
Yeah,
Okay, but I'm leaving all matters to be deleted from the referral list will be listed in the consent calendar.
yes,
Okay. And then we're gonna put in the 3 months under K.
right.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we're at L, no later than, we need to start sticking to that because 9:59, if it's 9:59 and we're still going, I'm calling it.
Fine with me, because after that, my brain's not working.
No,
Mhm.
you get tired and I don't make, my decision making is not up to par. Because I'm tired, because you're at work all day and then you go to a meeting and then you're not functioning well.
sure,
That,
yep.
I
No, that
just
rule's,
liked it during budget meeting.
that rule's fine. It's been there forever, and we always did it when Catherine Kolnaski was on. Catherine was like, it's 10 o'clock, we gotta stop.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to, because we just go way too late.
Right,
So
so
the next one, the one that will now be M, is the one, the cow has one budget meeting, which consists of several sessions. That's fine. Each session recesses. That's the one where you need to change the word adjourns.
Right.
That was just an error, should have been fixed the last time these rules were adopted, but each session recesses to a, and it really should be to a definite time. That's fine. And I would cross off that fix the time to which to adjourn. I don't even know what that means, why it's there.
I don't know, that's been there. I mean, I think saw that on the original thing. Actually, yeah. All right, so the cow has one budget meeting, which consists of several sessions. Each session recesses to a time definite or definite time.
That's what I say, Juliet. I say to a time definite. I just didn't want to have another change. But
no, it sounds better. Time definite. Okay.
And you can add, if you want, for clarity, you don't need to. The meeting is adjourned at the end of the final session.
Oh no, I'm putting that in.
Okay.
The meeting is adjourned. The meeting is adjourned at the final session.
At the end of the final session. At the end of the final session. And that just makes it clear to people, oh, you recess at the end of each session. You adjourn at the end of the final session.
Okay, it's in there.
Okay. That's it.
All right, and then we're on to citizens petitions.
Right.
Oh, the question was, we have to go back to the 3 minutes because somebody emailed us saying that the citizens are going to get 5 minutes. Why? But then the citizens do not get opportunity to speak twice.
Exactly. And that is why citizens get longer.
Okay, so, all right.
I mean, you can change it if you want, but
No, I think
No, no, no.
as a,
Speak more than once.
yep,
I think the really important one here that has to be emphasized is the citizens' petitions shall be accepted as presented. There shall be no question or cross-examination by members of the council except for questions necessary to clarify citizens' intent. That, because they've started getting into debate with the
Mhm.
coming in to speak, and that's not right.
So you could delete the language except for questions necessary to clarify. You could, that didn't used to be in there. And it was very clearly, there shall be no questions. I don't like the word cross-examination in here. There shall be no opportunity for comment by counselors or responses. This used to have stronger language about when citizens speak at citizens petitions, counselors do not say anything. You don't have.
That's been a point of not contention. Yes, that's been a point of contention
Okay,
because everybody's like, well, that's not how it's supposed to go. Technically, we're not supposed to be responding to the citizens until responses to citizens. That's the way I always saw it.
Yep.
mhm.
But
So you could, citizens petition shall be accepted as presented, comma, without questions or responses from counselors.
Yep.
And none of this clarifying business, because if the person didn't make themselves clear, oh, well, that's,
right, so citizen petition shall be accepted or presented. Accepted as presented without questions or responses from the counselors.
from counselors.
From counselors. Okay, that's what I wrote.
Yep. Yep. Citizens' comments versus oral, right, and will be part of that meeting's minutes. Did you all, did you add that language and will be part of that meeting's minutes?
Where's that part for?
Oh,
Did I not? Oh, in A? Yes, I did.
Is that being added? Is that being taken out? What's? And
They wanted that added. They thought, wait a minute, let me see how it was.
Include the entirety of what the person said in the minutes?
No.
No, that's what they wanted. It was a suggestion that was made.
Yes, maybe present orally in writing. Well, I don't know what that means, so I would suggest.
I think it,
That was, no, I'm gonna take that back out. Because the original had it as a citizen's comments may be presented orally or in writing. There was some that wanted what they've emailed us or spoke about in the meeting minutes.
Well, I think you need to clarify, do you mean, there'll be some summary like, Natalie Billings spoke about the school building project or, spoke in opposition to the school, but you don't want the entirety.
What they were doing, Juliet, I think, is when they got an email, they just forwarded it to the counselors. It wasn't part of the meeting. You just got it before to read.
Yeah, but do we want the whole, if they wrote a page and a half email, do we want Lisa typing that up? I think it's Lisa typing it up.
No, they don't type it. They just forward it.
No, but for the public view, because that's, if I'm understanding that correctly, if they wanted it as part of the meeting minutes, you would have to include the whole entire, all of it in its entirety, or just what Natalie suggested, just a portion of it, or just a topic.
A one-sentence summary.
Summary. That's the word. All right. I'll come.
All right. First of all, we're not going to get to add to her job. So that's not going to happen.
No, I don't want to add to her job. That's why I took that line out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is what they've been doing, and I think it's worked well, is they get an email from somebody that wants this as part of the meeting. They just forward it to us and we read it, the whole, whatever it may be.
Right, and that email is on file in the clerk's office, and
Right.
yeah.
So
So
all they got to do is if they email, they forward it to us. I don't think we even need to get into that. But I think that what we have to encourage is that the people that come to speak have it in writing to give to the clerk. You know what I mean?
yeah, yes, you can encourage it, but you probably don't want to put it in the rules as a requirement. So,
Right.
Right.
So you're taking out those red words. Is that what I understand, Juliet?
That's what I did.
Yep.
We're just gonna keep that as is.
Yeah.
Good. Just a little typo, Juliet, down in C, Rule 11C,
Okay.
towards the end of the first line. To ensure that recording.
Any recording. Oh,
Any recording. Yep, just a typo. But
okay.
heck, we'll fix typos while we got them. 9, 10. Can I offer one general thing throughout the rules? If you maybe you talked about it before I could hear at this meeting. Throughout these, the word chairman appears.
Oh,
That is sexist in this day and age. Would you consider that everywhere it appears, Juliet should change it to chair and not have reference to man?
yeah.
Oh, all right. Let me change that. So
It's
chairman,
all throughout the document, Juliet.
I'm changing it right. I can do it right now. Replace with
Everywhere?
chair.
Ooh.
Everywhere, because it's on.
Yeah. It's
replace-
everywhere. It's all throughout this. So if you want me to go through it with you one day, I've
No,
got
I just did a control find, and
Oh,
I only
it'll-
have one
cool.
chairman on there.
Oh no, there's a lot more than one.
Oh, chairman. Oh, let me switch that.
man.
Oh, I put both. Okay, chairman to chair. Replace
Yeah.
all.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that we could do that. How cool.
Oh, yeah, it's Control F, and then you can type it in.
Wow. Excellent.
Control S.
F, Frank,
Oh, okay.
and then you can hit replace.
Huh.
All right, did I do all that? I'm just making sure I didn't leave it in there. Okay,
Great.
all changed.
Can you send a clean copy of the rules, Juliet, without all the changes? Just a
And the
clean?
red, yep, and not the
Yes.
red. And what do you
Correct.
keep?
No red, just clean copy, because that's much easier for me to read and look for other things that perhaps need to be either tweaked or.
All right, I know. I just caught an error. What was that? Why did I put a C in that? Okay. Yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
But I don't think we're discussing this tomorrow night,
No,
because I won't have this for them tomorrow night. I mean, I
Right.
can, but I don't like giving them things at the last minute like this. This is too important of a discussion.
if the committee will allow, when it comes our turn, I'm going to ask to postpone our report.
I can agree with that, because if we give this to them for tomorrow, they will not. I do not want anybody saying, "Well, we got it at the last minute. How can we make a good decision on it?"
Right, but you could give it to them and say, as you said, make a motion to postpone and say, we're still working on it, but here's the draft, here's where we are in our revisions.
That's
I
really,
would agree with Natalie, most definitely, because for one, people are going to have a lot to say probably about even a small portion of the rules rewrite. So, we already have some, it's not as if every section received a major overhaul just now. That is just not the case. So a lot of the new language is included in the previous, was improved, included in the previous rules that we showed them. I know we fine-tuned tonight, but again, a large bulk of it is language that they have already reviewed. So what I would suggest is that we do meet with the council tomorrow and speak with them about these rules changes. I don't think we need to necessarily make a decision or vote on vote on the rules rewrite tomorrow, but I think we can most certainly discuss it and solicit feedback from councilors. I think that's very important because if we do, I think if we wait any longer, then we're just going to be postponing the inevitable, which is going back and working on additional rewrite.
I am taking stuff out as we speak. I do not feel comfortable. We haven't even voted on this yet. We
No.
have to vote first.
Andre,
Yeah.
I would prefer that we wait. I
Because-
would rather ask for it to be postponed. And we'll
And
be ready the following week.
you don't want to just let them see sort of the draft where, where you are saying, we haven't voted on this, we haven't adopted it. I'm just asking.
It's putting a lot on Juliet to have that done. I mean, we're already almost at 8 o'clock and you're talking about her having it done and in by tomorrow morning. I think it would be better personally to make the changes, and then just have a short session to vote on it.
Well, considering that Councilor Parker has been writing these minutes while I've been driving and not at all contributing to it, I can have no opinion on this. So I am totally okay with that, Councilor O'Grady.
Okay.
And the other thing is I want to make sure they have the original that was voted upon in 2017 when Councilor Heath, myself, and Councilor Zapiri were on, so they can see the two changes at the same time. Because I don't even know if they even have their original from before. They're supposed to have it, but that doesn't mean they have it. So I'd
Right.
rather have both at the same time so they can say, hey, oh, this is what's happening and that's what's happening. Okay, they did this, this, and this. Then they can have their questions all they want and say, why was this changed in this such and such section? Because we had to add things in. I'm a
The other,
firm believer in both documents being right there.
Juliet, I think also you had a quick meeting about a rule change, just one, and I don't think it got put into the rules that we're working off of, and I've got to find it. Conrad sent it to me.
Conrad's the one that did it. It wasn't in the, whatever rules this is what he sent to Betsy. So he was the one typing them up last year. So, I mean, last time we did this. So if it wasn't put in and we voted on it, that's on him because it didn't get sent to the correct person.
I understand that. I'm not suggesting anything different than that. What I want to do is I want to find it for our next conversation because we might want to add it because it was not put in.
I got to see what it was because it might not even pertain anymore.
I know, it does. I can't remember what it was. I read it and it does. It was something on time limitation. And it was.
So if you can find it, that would be great.
He went back to 2015, 2016. Well, I don't know why he went back. I'm seeing the email he sent us on October 19.
Yeah.
But if he's talking about 2015, 2016, why are we going back 5 years? We weren't on. We changed the rules since then.
I don't know. What, do you have what it says there?
Do you have his email, Juliet? Is it long or short to read?
It's a long one. It's always a
Oh.
long one.
Can you forward it?
Yeah, let me forward it to,
So we can all just look at it then. That'd be fine.
he wanted to clarify, Aubrey, Baumgardner, Natalie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, let me, and you said there was another one that he wanted?
It was something I got just recently. And maybe that one, I don't know. Let me see if I can pick it up. I'm not like you. I can't bounce around on a computer. I lose what I have.
Look, I have 3 devices going. I'm on my iPad for this meeting. I'm on my cell phone looking up the emails, and I'm trying to type the stuff on my computer, my laptop.
I
So-
can't do it either, Leanne.
It's only because I have to do it at work so often.
All right, I will find it and send it to everybody. But like I said, I'm not gonna try to do it now because we'd be in real trouble. Oh well,
Yeah.
as it is. I lost my. Yep. There we go.
Juliet,
Yes.
when you do present the rules to the council, the ones that this committee eventually approves,
Mhm.
is it your thinking that you'll give the council a clean copy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion.
I want
Okay,
the clean copy and then what was originally approved for the 31st.
great.
I think they need to see both. And then they can go line by line and say, oh, they changed this, this, and this. Because as it is, we made a lot of different changes and moved things together and added some lines. They're not going to understand without looking at the previous one what we were doing.
Yep, got it. Mhm.
All right. So do you want to try? When would you like to get? Maybe like Thursday night. We could meet briefly and vote on this.
Wait a minute. I have to, wait, Thursday. Wait a minute. Oh, where's my agenda book?
Like we're sitting there with her, Natalie.
Look, I don't write everything in my phone for that reason. I'm a old school thing about agendas. Thursday. I might be able to Thursday. No, wrong week. Hold up. Thursday evening, the 29th. You want to meet again?
Well, we got to vote on this if we're going to give it to him the following week.
Yeah. And then I need to email John about the referral list.
We could do it a week from tonight. We can meet again on Monday night.
That's the night before the election.
Election. Do we want to do it the night before the election?
No.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
I want that over so bad that,
Yeah, me too.
oh, yeah, I get sick to my stomach every time I think about it.
I can do that.
Anybody got an idea? I don't even have my calendar down here.
Well, because we're not meeting for the town council till Wednesday, the 4th. And the next committee of the whole meeting's not until the November 10th. Because we're gonna have to approve them before November 10th.
Well, we need to be able to give them something next week, though. That's the problem.
Then we'll have to meet this week.
Yep.
I think I can do on Thursday. Let's see. Yeah, Thursday should work. Thursday works for me, Councilor Aubrey.
You want to try the 5:30 again?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't join you that night, which is fine. I'm not voting on them anyway. If I see any little thing else that I might suggest you tweak, I'll send you an email about it
Please.
between now and then. When I get the clean copy from Juliet, be great.
Okay, so you're not available.
I can't Thursday night, no, but
Okay.
you don't need me for the vote, I don't think. You're good.
All right, and then, but you're gonna try to find that email before we,
I will find it. Yep.
and then we gotta email John. You know what? I should just call him. No, I better email it and CC all you, okay. Because
All right.
I don't know where he's putting the referral list now.
He said something about the program wouldn't pick it up or something like that. So that's why he was doing it.
Right. All right, that's one of the things to think about.
Okay. All right. Well, we've done a lot tonight and it's been a very long meeting and I appreciate the time very much.
Okay.
Emily, I thank you so much for your assistance. It's made a huge difference for us.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Truly. Thank you.
You are
right.
very welcome. For whatever
right.
bizarre reason, I love this.
Well, great. We're happy you do. All right, guys, we're going to sign
Wait.
off.
Wait. Got to do it correctly. Got to do a motion.
Yeah, please do.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor?
I.
Hey, whatever I forget, type it in like we did it.
It's recorded.
Okay, guys. Thank you so
Actually,
much for your-
Leanne, you'll be happy to know that under Roberts,
Yeah,
as chair, if there's no further business, you can declare the meeting adjourned.
oh, I'm
That's-
on here, guys. I declare the meeting
There
adjourned.
being no further business.
All right, wait. But we are gonna ask Lisa to set us up another meeting for Thursday evening at 5:30.
Yes, I am. Yes,
Okay.
I will talk to her in the morning.
All right. So, you'll talk to her in the morning. Okay. And do you want to ask John that other question about the referral list, or he can't? I don't think he can put it in the system.
Why don't you ask him that one?
Okay. All right.
And make sure you hit the end record button.
Oh, damn, I just lost them. All right.
And before you go, Juliet,
Yes.
the picture that you sent me from Roberts
Yes.
was going to be showing me where you saw the text for appeal, but you texted me the index page that lists all the different pages where
That's.
appeal.
I didn't know where to go for it. That's why I sent you those.
Okay. All right.